Is your approach in management one where you like to have kind of a hands-on approach with what goes on in the developments of the community?
Absolutely. You know, even when I work on client sites, you know, consulting, and my management style is very much open-minded. I like feedback, and I want everybody's weigh-in before a decision's made, because I think a lot of time, excuse me, what we're seeing is the city council just making decisions, turning their back to the community, and they're not asking them what they want. In addition, they're not being very transparent on why they're doing something, and so nobody really understands why, and then people get frustrated.
I want to talk about that a little bit. You mentioned these points about, you know, being involved with a potential new development. You know, being involved with, you know, I don't know, the permission of it happening, with the checking in with the community to see what they think about it. Do you think these points are lacking or lacking emphasis with the current city council?
Well, you know, what I think and what I witnessed just going to, you know, I went to a property tax meeting over at the Whittier Group, and they were presenting some plans, and I think, you know, those neighborhood meetings can sometimes be a little intimidating for people from the community to come and listen, and you know, listen to a bunch of attorneys that are representing the developer, and they sometimes don't create a very comfortable level with all of the residents to really ask the questions that they want to ask. So I think maybe a different approach to how we communicate and get feedback from people in the community might need to change. I think a lot of people sometimes don't want to ask questions because they feel a little intimidated. So maybe change that process a little bit.
So you're emphasizing here to open the door to more communication with the community.
Absolutely. And to really understand, you know, I think a lot of people just don't understand why we do things. And what I want to do is really open up the door and create that transparency so people understand why. If they understand why and they can understand, we'll always figure out how to do it.
Are there any, I don't know, issues that are current that you mentioned pensions. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? And, you know, that's probably something that goes, you know, maybe unnoticed by most of the people in the city. So flesh that out a little bit.
Absolutely. The pensions, from, you know, my standpoint, are a real scary issue. You know, we've got a couple $100 million deficit between the combined, you know, police and firefighters, and you know, it's not being budgeted today, Brandon. It's not being considered in the current city council's budget. You know, every department's required to submit a 5-year plan for their department, revenue and expense, but the city council's not budgeting for the pensions. So it really concerns me, because the next argument is we have to increase property taxes to fund the pensions. Well, if you're increasing property taxes and you're not budgeting for the pensions, then how are those pensions ever going to get paid?
Well, what do they plan on doing?
Well, one option, I know they're getting a lot of pushback from the state, is really looking, you know, to work with the state to help make up some of that shortfall. It's a significant amount of money. The state doesn't necessarily agree with the city's plans, so there's pushback at that level, and then nothing happens. And that's where I feel the problem really lies, is that then nothing happens. Why aren't we presenting other alternatives? Why aren't we pushing back even harder? That's why we elect these people into office, are to fight for us. And that's, I think, where we fall short.
So you see a void of that in the current
absolutely.
city council, and that's something that you know, drives your campaign.
Absolutely.
Is that void that you want to fill?
Yes.
Along, of course, with your financial knowledge and expertise.
Yes, that's what I would like to bring to the table.
Let's check out your website here for the people at home. There you go, voteforkimv.com. And this is what we have here. She tweets everybody, so we know she's hip. Here's a nice picture of her, and her website there for use. Events, I suppose?
Yeah, we'll be posting events as they go. I'll be posting more content as we move through the election. I know there's a lot of specific concerns with the Board of tax and estimate and the park boards. So I will be looking to do write-ups on those issues.
Okay. Some stances, some issues that you have here: budget control, property taxes, wasteful spending.
I'm really driving home the financial
I see that,
piece.
yeah.
I really feel like it's the root of our evils right now, and it's causing a lot of hardships for everybody, and we really need to focus on how we're going to balance.
Bingo night, huh?
It might be changed a little bit, yeah. We had the ice cream social, that was fun.
Okay, great. So yeah, vote for KimV.com, and you at home can check out all there is to see here for
Volunteers
for Kim.
sign up if anybody's interested, so
And
please.
you want to point that out?
Yes.
You probably also want to point out the donation.
The donation,
right?
yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I suppose even city council races these days, they get started early and they get to be pretty expensive, huh?
Yes, they can. The printing costs and materials alone.
It seems like the financial concerns of the city, the fact that you've got a career in finance, and the communication between the state and the city, between the citizen and the city,
Yeah.
and really working those 2 points is kind of the embodiment of your campaign. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think now more than ever, we've got growing financial concerns. Things are changing. We're not playing the same game that we did in the past, and so I think we need people with fresh ideas who are used to seeing different environments. I've worked at several companies. Have seen a lot of different situations, and I'd like to apply our different troubleshooting mechanisms that I've worked with in the past to the city. See how it pans out.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you very much for being here on my show. Go to her website, check it out, voteforkimv.com. Go to minneapolitantv.com. I just changed that from Minneapolis Expression, as you may have noticed at home. And check out this episode, check out other episodes I'll have up on the site. And communicate to me or Kim if you have questions. Ward 10, Uptown.
And if you're in the Uptown area, don't hesitate to give me a call. I'd love to have a cup of coffee and chat.
Excellent. That's good of you to open that up. Again,
Yes.
promoting that communication.
I'm very accessible, so don't hesitate to call anybody if you have any questions about my platform. I love talking.
And I'm sure she does, because Lord knows there are 1,000 questions out there that I didn't get to here. So access her virtually, actually. And thank you again here for tuning into the show. And I hope to see you all next time here on Minneapolitan TV. Thanks. Bye.